guys, it's Katie here with Life Mundane, and today we are going to be talking about our read aloud picks for our homeschool family for the 2025-2026 homeschool year. Now, I have 6 kids ranging in age from 2nd grade all the way up to 10th grade. So we're going to talk about what are we going to read aloud together as a family, everyone. What are we going to read with just the younger 3 kids? And then what am I going to read with just the older 3 kids? So let's get started. I want to give the distinction that read alouds are those books that we are going to enjoy together. They offer value. They maybe have heavier topics that I want to talk about and discuss, or they're just fun and lighthearted and I want to enjoy them with my children. This does not mean that we have to verbally read all of them aloud. Some of them we will do as audiobooks. Some I will physically read aloud, but the point is these are ones that we're experiencing together versus assigned readers. If you want to see what I'm assigning for reading this year, let me know down in the comments. All right, first up, let's talk about what am I reading aloud with everyone all together. Now, I've got a big stack here, and honestly, with having teens in the mix and having them have extra classes and work and driver's licenses and things like that, it means that they're not home every single day to be able to do our read aloud time with us. So we only get to it about 2 to maybe 4 times a week on a really good week. Now, we do like to utilize car trips whenever we're all together to get in some audiobook listening. So depending on how the year falls, we might get through all of these. We might only get through a portion of them. We might get through way more, and we'll see once we get to that point. But a few that we have on our list is we want to go through Robin Hood. I think this is going to be a really fun one. I've actually never read the Robin Hood book in its full entirety, so we're going to be covering that all together as a family. We also are going to be going through My Side of the Mountain. I bought this several years ago. It has come highly recommended. Many people say it's one of their favorite books, and I have never read this one. So we are going to tackle this one together. It seems fairly short, so I feel like we can do it, but we'll see. Next up is The Rise and Fall of Mount Majestic. This was recommended by my friend Amy over at Humility and Doxology. If you're ever looking for book recommendations, definitely go check out her channel and subscribe. Tell her Katie sent you because she has some of the best ones out there. And it is about a group of kids who are living on an island. She learns about a secret that's going to affect everyone on the island, and her and another kiddo have to try to convince everyone to listen and to get along and pay attention to whatever the secret might hold. We love to do adventure kind of action books when it comes to our read alouds for everyone because it's something that usually holds the attention of the littlest ones all the way up to the teens. And right along with that one is The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell. I have seen this one recommended many, many times from many people, and so I'm excited to dive into this one. It's actually a whole series, and one thing I like to do in read alouds is I like to read the first book in a series, and then if it's really good, a lot of times my kids will pick up the other books in the series to read along themselves. So it's a great way to kind of entice them or give them a little bit of maybe excitement for something they wouldn't normally pick up on their own, but you know they'd love. Another book that we are doing is The Pushcart Wars. We actually already did it this summer, but it is counted in this year's read alouds. And in addition to The Pushcart War, we did it on audio. We also did the book Hoot on audio as well. At the end of the year, I'll share my read aloud reviews with you guys and what we liked and what we loved and hated and all of the things. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But those are 2 books that we already tackled. We also are going to be doing Flora and Ulysses. We've really liked this author's books in the past, and so I'm excited to dive into this one. And then what we are currently reading right now is Tuesdays in the Castle. You can see we're at the beginning of it still, but Tuesdays in the Castle is about a castle that grows and builds itself. And so it's constantly getting new hallways and buildings and rooms and whatever. It's kind of alive. And it's about the kids who live there and about how they're going to protect the castle when things don't go quite the way they had planned. So all of that to say, those are what we're kind of planning to tackle as a family. We'll see if we get to them all. But now let's go into what I'm going to read with my 2nd grader, my 3rd grader, and my 7th grader. Understanding that my 7th grader does have special needs, and so mentally is maybe not quite in the typical standard 7th grade as far as interest levels. She spans a little bit younger than that. Now with these 3, we have a lot of books we're planning to read aloud because frankly, they're home all day, every day. They don't have a lot of extra activities to go to. And when they do, they're always with mom. So doing them as read-alouds in the car or in the doctor's offices or whatever is very easy to do. So 100 Dresses is on the list. The 100 Dresses is on the list. I actually have never read this one before, believe it or not. So that is one that we are tackling this year. We also are doing more of the Mrs. Pigglewiggle books because my girls love the original Mrs. Pigglewiggle. So we've got Hello, Mrs. Pigglewiggle. We have Mrs. Piggliwiggle's Magic. And then on audio, we have Happy Birthday, Mrs. Pigglewiggle. So those are sure to be favorites. We also have this series. Now we are currently reading the Sir Lancelot the Great book. We are just starting that one as well. And I can tell you just a little sneak peek, loving it. But I was told by many of you guys that I would love it. So I went ahead and got some of the other books in the series. This is Sir Gervit and the Short, or Sir Gervit the Short, Sir Gawain the True, and I believe there's another book in the series as well. So if we continue enjoying these, then I will continue getting the rest of them. On audio, we are doing My Father's Dragon, and we have done the Anna Hibiscus books that we've done, I think, almost all of those books, at least the first 8 books for sure. We're gonna do Because of Winn-Dixie. Again, seen the movie, never read the book before, so we're gonna tackle that one. We're gonna do The Family Under the Bridge. Right now I have this one for my littles read aloud. We might make this a family read aloud around Christmas time, especially. I haven't decided yet. It's very short, looks easy to get through. Many of these books in general are very short, like the Mrs. Pigglewiggle books and these Knight's Tales books are only a few chapters, and each chapter is only a few pages. So we typically read 2 chapters a day, and that kind of leaves them wanting more, but is something that kind of piques their interest and is easy to consume. There's usually pictures and things like that inside, so it makes it really easy to get through several books, which when you've got younger kids, I highly recommend, because it gives you that boost of like, yeah, we did it. We've gone through 6 read-alouds already at the beginning of the year. But also there's just that excitement for them of starting and finishing something new and different. So we do tackle bigger books, as you can see in our family read-alouds, but we usually try to save the little bit longer ones for the group altogether. Okay, now I just mentioned that my teens are oftentimes gone. They have a very busy schedule and they are home, but when they're home, they are working on their schoolwork or we're connecting, and I don't want everything to be a school subject or, you know, something that they have to do as an assignment. So with this, we actually only get to these read-alouds maybe once a week, and sometimes not even that often. So with this, I only have 4 books picked out. If we burn through those books and the teens really love this time of reading with just mom, then I might add some more, and I would love to know your suggestions in the comments. One book that I have not purchased yet but is on my wish list for this purpose is the book Speak. My friend Misty recommended this, and it is about a girl who has been bullied and she's being silent, and then suddenly she is ready to share what she's going through. Apparently it has fairly heavy themes, which is why we're not going through with it as a group, but it sounds like it would be a good one to discuss. Along those lines, we have Okay for Now. So last year or the year before, we did the Wednesday Wars, which was phenomenal. My kids loved it. It was so funny and so enjoyable for the entire family. This is the sequel to that book, but I've been told it has some pretty heavy themes to it. So it's still very enjoyable, still very good from what I hear, but probably not for younger kids or more sensitive kids. So I'm gonna be reading through this one with my teens. Now I told you my friend Amy over at Humility Doxology is the place to go for book recommendations, and she actually recommended both of our next picks in the Made to Homeschool community. If you guys are not familiar, Made to Homeschool is a community made by homeschooling parents for homeschooling parents, and is a place where you can share ideas, ask questions. They have workshops, printables, and so much more. But she recommended getting this Amusing Ourselves to Death. It's about the public discourse on show business, and I'm gonna read the back for you guys. It says, television has habituated us to visual entertainment, measured out in spoonfuls of time. But what happens when we come to expect that same thing from our politics and our public discourses? What happens to journalism and education and religion when they too become forms of show business? 20 years ago, Neil Postman's lively polemic was the first book to consider the way the electronic media was reshaping culture. It goes on a little bit more, but this book is definitely a nonfiction book, but it's about a very important topic, and it sounds like one that would be really good to discuss. So we are going to be reading that one. Another one she recommended was How to Tell Lies with Statistics. Again, this is nonfiction, but it has a lot of humor built in. It even has fun illustrations built in as well, and kind of talking about overinflating statistics. And it talks about all the different methods that people will use oftentimes to fool you instead of to prove something is actually true. So again, a really good one that I'm excited to dive into with my teens. Let me know in the comments, what are you planning to read aloud this year? And if you want to see some of our favorites and least favorite read alouds from last year, check out this video here.